Hey, what's going on guys? It's Scarce here, and today I'm going to be doing my FUPA reveal. Look at this bad boy. I'm sorry. I got this shirt for Christmas, and as I removed the pillow from under my shirt, I just had to revive the meme, just once. In my last video, I asked you guys also if you would be happy to see some mobile gameplay on the sides of the videos, just so that you have some visual interest that you can look at while I talk, and you guys voted for it overwhelmingly positively. 82% of you said yes, do it, it's great, and so I've decided to bring it back, and I've also decided to team up with the Last Empire War Z guys, who I worked with during Revelations. So this is a nice tie-in back to Revelations as well, and there's something in their game that I specifically want to use to highlight one of the points I'm making in this video, okay? So it's all wrapped up together. Oh, and by the way, last week a load of people were asking for download links. There's a download link for this video as well. It's a sponsored video, so there's a download link in the description down below. Go download it, join my alliance, we can smash some noobs together. Okay, so over the last 8 years, Treyarch have been crafting this story that had a kind of, I guess, problem with continuity. There have been a lot of issues caused by the fact that if they make a map, they don't necessarily know where they're going to be in 2 or 3 maps time, and so what they've had trouble with is making a story that is cohesive. With Black Ops 3, I guess they've had this massive advantage, which is that they've been able to sort of retcon, which basically means to rewrite history a little bit, a lot of the things that didn't work in the story, and bring things into a new focus so they can say, okay, if you've got, for example, maybe Peter McCain, maybe Blundell thought he was a little bit boring, he could be reworked into the story in a way that Blundell found a lot more interesting. I'm gonna get this helicopter giving me my funds, thank you very much. So, with the way Black Ops 3 ended with Revelations, they basically gave themselves the option to take things wherever they wanted in the future, which is exactly as they have done in the past for Origins, so that was no surprise really, but it was done in such a way here that we're basically finished with this story, and next time, it's going to be something new, which is really, really exciting. Now, one of the things that a lot of people have been saying to me is, well, are the characters going to come back? Are we going to get Nikolai and Dempsey and Richtofen and Maxis and any of that cast returning in the next game? The Shadow Man, Monty, etc. And my take on things is as follows. I've been thinking a lot about the environment that Treyarch is currently making their game in, if that makes sense, and it has changed a lot over the years, like a massive amount, because if you think back to World at War, no one was making Call of Duty World at War Treyarch Zombies in that style, other than Treyarch, of course. And so, when we got to the reveal of Exo Zombies for DLC 1, it kind of, just a little bit, ended up being like a kind of disappointment in a way. It was very exciting because it meant that we got more zombies, but it was also like, oh no, we're getting more zombies now, which means we're gonna have zombies 2 out of 3 years. And then Extinction got canned for Ghost because it sucked, and we ended up getting more zombies with this current game, Infinite Warfare. And again, some people like it, and that's totally okay. Troops come home, I want to attack some bases, boys. So we got this new zombies, but that now means that we've got 3 years of zombies in a row. For a lot of people, that is the most exhaustive thing, myself included. That's so tiring to have so many years of zombies, just over and over and over and over again, that what I reckon might happen is it might actually put Treyarch off. I don't think that Treyarch are the kind of company, 23k troops, holy moly, it's about to get lit. I don't think that Treyarch are the kind of company that want to do the same thing over and over and over again. It just doesn't strike me as their way of doing things. I would say that despite the innovation issues that Black Ops 3 had, it still brought a lot to the table that we haven't really seen in a Call of Duty game before. There was so much packed into that game in such a remarkable way. I mean, Dead Ops Arcade 2 was part of the game. If that doesn't give you a clear enough indicator that they were squeezing features into that game and onto that disc, then I don't know what else to say. Like, it was really, really ram-packed with features, and we're getting new features to this day. I mean, Newton's Cookbook is a new feature that has come out and is now live, and Revelations came out months ago, and they're always trying to innovate and always trying to improve, which is really cool. Now, will this mean that in Treyarch's next title, as I gather my troops to attack you, sir, does this mean that Treyarch are going to end up in a situation where they no longer want to produce the same zombies that they've been producing before? They've had a story for a long time that has been within certain constraints, and Jason Blundell took the reins from Jimmy Zielinski in 2013 and decided that he wanted to rewrite the book. He wanted to take those constraints, break them in half, and then reshape them as brackets for his new story that would then be Black Ops 3. And it wouldn't surprise me at this point, now that Infinity Ward are making zombies and you've got zombies probably coming next year from Sledgehammer as well, it wouldn't surprise me if Treyarch decided to alter the zombies experience. Now, I'm not saying that they're going to get rid of zombies entirely, but what I do want to say is that they might be inclined to just change up the formula. This is the example I gave on the Smith Squad podcast. They have introduced a character that basically is Jason Blundell, and his name is Dr. Monty. And Monty tells you all sorts of things about the storyline and about where you're going in the future maps and how things came into existence in the first place, the wall chalks, his idea. Free will, his idea, etc., etc. Perk jingles, all of it, all are sort of derived in a way from Dr. Monty. And that's a really interesting concept because it's breaking the fourth wall in a way that it has never been broken before, but also, and this is the key thing, it means that if they get rid of Dr. Monty, do they also get rid of wall chalks? Things that we are so familiar with, like perks and perk jingles. They've moved towards a gobblegum system in Black Ops 3 and only introduced one new perk. Widow's Wine. Gobblegum basically replaced perks, replaced the perk system, and so they sort of had no need to constantly pile on perk after perk after perk. And this brings me to The Last Empire War Z. This brings me to this game that I'm playing right now. Okay, my camera died just then, which was fantastic, so I'm back now, a couple of minutes later. Last Empire's a mobile game, is what I was about to say, and that means that it's got all of these sort of usual things that you get in these sorts of games. Like, for example, if I log in every day, I get a login bonus. There are things on timers, like this little gramophone down here, which I've got my own version of just across the room there, but you've got all sorts of stuff like that that are basically very typical of the mobile gaming system, and they mean that you play the game every day, you constantly get loads of free stuff. So that's generally the way that sort of system kind of tends to work out, and I think that Treyarch, as a company, especially as they're going to be surrounded now by two other developers doing DLC in, DLC out, the normal zombies rigmarole of basically making a mysterious and dark story and taking the players on a journey, etc., etc., they might get to the point where they're just like, no, we're not going to do this anymore. We're going to change the game in such a way that it still feels like zombies, and it's still very, very fun, and it still feels exactly like we're playing that Treyarch Zombies experience. But what if, for example, they took a leaf out of Last Empire's book and said, you know what, we're going to make it so you can interact with other people's games in your game. So, for example, I'm attacking this dude just to the side of my base here. Or, what if we do things like have things that you can interact with in the game, but they're only interactable once every 24 hours, once every 48 hours, something like that. What if they decide that they're going to get rid of Dr. Monty, which I think is probable at this point, because Malcolm McDowell's old. Like, he can't be in is it tri-yearly? Is that the right word? They're every 3 years, these games, and he's not going to be around long enough to be in a bunch of them before he pops his clogs or decides that he doesn't want to do the work anymore. They've got to get rid of Dr. Monty at some point, and if they do that, does that mean, like I said, that perk jingles and wall chalks and announcers and all those sorts of things can be moved to the side? And Treyarch are given a bigger canvas to draw a new story in. I don't know. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments down below, because I think the idea of Treyarch changing things up and not just making the normal round on round zombies mode really interesting. They'll be in the stage now when they'll be prototyping those sorts of things. Like, they'll be basically saying, okay, we've got 2 years till our game comes out, let's try some really wacky ideas and see what we can do for the future. And I really, really hope that one of the wacky ideas that they have is that they kind of change the formula just a little bit so that it's not just Call of Duty Zombies year on year, but it keeps that unique feeling of being developer, Treyarch. Developer, Treyarch. Every single time. Keep things as fresh as possible and really sort of rock the boat a little bit for their next title. I think that would be so damn cool. Okay, so let me know what you think, guys. Let me know what you think of the Last Empire War Z gameplay as well, and if you want it to come back in future videos, then by all means let me know. I've been MrRoflWaffles. Quick reminder that there's a download link for the game in the description down below if you want to download it, and I want to obviously say thanks to the Last Empire guys as well for working with me on this video. I've been MrRoflWaffles. It's been fun. Leave a like if you've enjoyed, and you're Jason Blundell at Treyarch, and you're about to change one feature. You have to justify your choice. What do you change and why? Leave a comment down below.